You know, we could all use some encouragement. And I've got some good news for you. Welcome to 5 Minutes with Mark. Oh, greetings, friends. Welcome back to 5 Minutes with Mark. We're picking up the story, Gospel of Mark, chapter 14, at verse 17. In the evening, he came with the 12. Now, as they sat and ate, Jesus said, "Assuredly, I say to you, one of you who eats with me will betray me." And they began to be sorrowful and say to him one by one, "Is it I?" And another said, "Is it I?" He answered and said to them, "It is one of the 12 who dips with me in the dish. The Son of Man indeed goes just as it is written of him. But woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been good for that man if he had never been born." Let's stop right there. So there's this moment of tension, this sadness. Jesus enters into this last meal knowing this is the last time he's going to sit with his intimate companions. That from this point on, things are going to just happen very quickly. He knows he's going to be betrayed. He knew he was going to be betrayed all along. I'll be betrayed into the hands of the sinners, he says. He knew when he chose Judas Iscariot that Judas Iscariot was going to betray him. And yet he still loved him. He still chose him. He still poured himself into him. He taught him. He did everything he could. Did Judas have to betray him? Well, this is a question that theologians have been arguing about for years. It was necessary that the Son of Man be betrayed. But woe to the man who does it. It's better if you'd never been born. It's hard. Does God choose some and not choose others? Well, Jesus chose Judas Iscariot. Judas Iscariot had free will, had the ability to make a good decision or a bad decision. At the end of the day, he chose to betray Jesus for money, out of his disappointment, apparently, because Jesus was not who he wanted him to be. I think, on the other hand, we can look at Jesus. And Jesus is sitting there with his 12. And as they're eating this meal, as they're laughing and they're talking, and there's this tension, this weird vibe in the room. And Jesus says, "One of you guys is going to betray me. Someone in this room, one of you 12, is going to betray me." And 11 guys start looking around the room going, "Who? Is it me? Am I the one who's going to do this?" And I think that's a pretty telling moment. I think that speaks a lot of life for me. Because these men who loved Jesus, these men who trusted him, these men who had followed him for 3 years, had left everything behind, had seen miraculous things, had done miraculous things, had experienced all of this incredible stuff. At this moment, they're looking into themselves and thinking, is it possible that I could betray my Lord? Could I be the one? I think we fool ourselves if we say, I would never do that. Because we all have the potential within us to fail and to fail miserably. We all are selfish, self-indulgent, self-centered, self-focused, self-preserving creatures. At the end of the day, this surrendered life is harder than people want it to be. Now, it's simple. It's not complicated. Trust God with everything and see what he'll do. Understand that. And that's the consistent message of the Bible. You know that, right? God is not interested in our money and our abilities. What God wants is for us to know who he is and to trust him fully, to live surrendered, dependent lives so that he can work in us and through us. He is with us. He is in us. He is around us. He has a plan for us. And it's a good plan. And we betray him because we don't like the plan. Or we We betray ourselves because rather than walking in faith, we walk in self-sufficiency. We plan, we execute, we build our kingdoms. We control the controllables. We do our thing. And we give lip service to God. And then we're confronted with that. And we have to say, is it me? Did I really betray him? Did I really take care of myself rather than walk in faithfulness to God? See, we have to think about these things. And they're uncomfortable. Because all too often what I find is that I'm not nearly as faithful, nearly as strong, nearly as compassionate, nearly as loving, nearly as long-suffering, nearly as forgiving as Jesus wants me to be. I sit around the table with him, and he challenges me with, today someone's going to let me down. Someone's going to betray me. And I look around the room and wonder, is it me? Just like the 11 did. Judas already knew it was him. And Jesus knew it was Judas. There's no doubt. This is all going down the way it's planned to. And I think that was hard for Jesus. It had to be weird for Judas, because they were looking at each other in the eye, knowing this is all about to happen. And Jesus gives him this final warning. Look, it had to happen. It has to go down this way, but it would be better if you had never been born. And at that moment, what if Judas repented and said, oh, Jesus, I was so close. I guess somebody else would have done it. But just like the upper room was ready, things are going to happen the way they had to happen in order for the results that God intended. And Judas is going to get up and walk out in the midst of the meal and go to the chief priest and let them know, hey, we got him. We got him tonight. Let's do this. Woe to you when you betray the Lord. Sobering thoughts. Told you, it's only going to get worse from here. See you next time. Hey friends, I sure hope you're enjoying this casual stroll through the Gospel of Mark. And if you'd like to know more about me and what I'm doing, check out my website, theeclecticmonk.com. There you'll find all kind of other stuff that I've been doing. And I really hope that you'll share this Bible study with the people around you. Till next time, God bless you.